when we're working with negative exponents, we have to remember all of our regular laws. So these try now, let's see if we can put it all together. So when we are multiplying, we are actually adding. When we multiply, we add. When we divide, we are actually subtracting the exponents. That's adding again, subtract. Okay, so let's start with this. So you can write this step if you want. You don't have to, but it's negative 5 plus 8. When they have the same base, you're adding the exponents. This would be x to the 3. If you wanted to, you could skip right to that. Negative 5 plus 8 is 3. Then you look at your answer and go, that's beautiful, I can't do anything else with that, and you stop. This next one here, we've got 3 divided by negative 7, m to the negative 7, that's subtraction, so it'll be m to the 3 minus negative 7. You don't have to show this step. You can go m to the 3 minus minus will be 10. And there's nothing to fix there. It's a beautiful answer, m to the 10. Okay, this next one here, it is dot, so it's multiplication, which means we're going to add. So this will be x to the negative 3 plus negative 5. And then we've got x to the negative 3 plus negative 5, so that's negative 8. Again, you could have skipped right there, negative 3 plus negative 5, but you're not going to leave your answer like this. So your answers with positive exponents. Okay, and this is your last step only. You only do this on your last step where you try to fix everything up. So here, my last step would be, this negative means reciprocal. So that would be 1 over x to the 8, reciprocal of that. Okay, so that's my last, very, very last step right there. So that's my last steps to clean it up if it needs to be. These I did not do it because they did not have an answer with a negative, so they didn't need to be cleaned up. So only when you have to. Okay, so let's try this one again. Division means subtraction. So this will be m to the negative 2 minus negative 5. So this will be m to the negative 2 plus 5, so it'll be 3. There's nothing to fix there, so we stop there. Okay, this next one here. You do the inside of the bracket first, but there's a w and a z. They are not the same base, so I can't do anything there. So then what I'm going to do is going to bring this in, multiply, power to a power rule. Multiply, and the invisible exponent here is a 1. So if you remember, there's an invisible 1. Then we're going to do here w to the negative 4 times negative 2, 8, and z to the 1 times negative 2, negative 2. Now, that's all done. I can't do anything more because there's nothing else to simplify, but I don't like leaving any answers with a negative in the exponent. That negative in the exponent in the denominator means you need the reciprocal, which means it means to flip up. So my final answer would be w to the 8 and z to the 2 here, because it moves up to be with the 8. You don't need over 1. Okay, so not over 1. So you can put it over 1. Okay, so it's not over 1. You don't need the over 1 anymore. If you do write it, you would just rewrite it again without the over 1. Okay, so you don't need the over 1 anymore. You can take that away. Okay, let's try that again. Look inside the bracket. I can't simplify that, so then I go with the, I'm going to bring the power in, multiply. I'll power in and multiply. That gives me w to the negative 9 and z to the 3 times negative 3, negative 2 times 3 would be 6, positive 6. Okay, then there's nothing else to simplify, there's nothing else to do, but I can fix that negative. So the negative means it's going to head down to the denominator, so w to the 9 and z to the 6. And what's left in the numerator? Just a 1. Okay, this next one here, when we have two brackets beside each other, we're multiplying, so that means we're adding. So multiply means we're adding. And then for this one, we are going to do, let's see what we've got. So this is going to be x to the 2 plus negative 5 and y to the negative 3 plus 1. There's an invisible 1 there, right? So that's the invisible 1. And so we're going to get x to the negative 3, y to the negative 2, and I can't do anything more, so I did all the exponents, but at the very, very last step, I want you to fix it up, and this will be denominator x to the 3, y squared. Numerator would be, if there's nothing left there, we put a 1. Okay, next one here. Division becomes subtraction. So this is m to the negative 4 minus negative 2. And we always read down. So it's always reading down. When you think of a page, we read from the top to the bottom. So this is negative 4 minus negative 2. And this is n to the 2 minus 2. As soon as you see this, if you can just cross it off and make it 1, that'd be perfect. Okay, but if not, then you're going to go 2 minus 2, which is going to give you 0 anyway. So m to the negative 2, n to the 0. N to the 0 crosses off to become 1. And this little negative here, that little guy here, needs to be fixed. So 1 over m squared. The negative means reciprocal, so bring it under, and that one's gone. Okay, let's try division again. So this division, I can't do anything inside the bracket, so I have to move to the outside and go boom, boom. That power to power means multiplication. So this would be m to the negative 9 and n to the negative 12. Both of them are negative. We multiplied them, right? So we multiplied them. So this negative here, the very last step, means you want to fix that. So if it's negative in the numerator, then it's going to move down to the denominator. If it's negative in the denominator, then you move up to the numerator. So that's our answer. All right. So hopefully you're getting the pattern. When I look at this one, it's just straight multiplication. So all I'm going to do is add. Okay, so all I'm going to do is add here. So if I'm going to add it, I'm doing x to the negative 2 plus negative 4. Again, you can just do this in your head. 5 plus negative 3. This is x to the negative 6 and y to the 2. Again, if we're all done the exponent laws and this is the final step, we're going to move this guy to the denominator of this one. There we go. Okay, how did I change up these last three? I did double order of operations, so I did exponent laws, exponent, so that means we're multiplying, and then between these two we'll do addition after. So for the first one, we're getting x to the negative 2, y to the 6, and then for the second one, we're doing x to the negative 8, y to the 6, like that. Okay, now it's multiplication, so now we're going to do addition. So we're doing addition here, so this will be x to the negative 2 plus negative 8, and y to the 6 plus 6. So this will get me x to the negative 10 and y to the 12. And whoever's negative has to move. It won't always be the first one. I seem to have a lot of examples with that, though. I should change that. So this would be y to the 12 stays up here, and the denominator x to the 10. Okay, so whichever one's negative moves. Let's try this one here. Looking across, I see multiplication, but I also see the exponent. So I'm going to do 1, 2 with multiplication. So this will be x to the 9, y to the negative 9. So that's all done. And this guy here, like that. So now we have multiplication, which means we're going to add the exponents. So if I add the exponents, this will be x to the 9 plus 5, and y to the negative 9 plus negative 4. So this will be x to the 14, and y to the negative 13. Okay, hopefully this is making more sense, except for this last bit, which might feel just a bit strange still. The negative one moves, so we're going to leave x to the 14 here, and this one here, you can move it to the denominator. So the 14 stays in the numerator, the 13 stays in the denominator. Oh, all right, we're almost there. And we've got power to power rule, 1, 2, there's an invisible 1, that's multiplication. Here, power to power rule, that's multiplication. We do both sets. like this. So this one here. Okay, so for the first one, we're going to write x to the 1 and 2, so 2, and y to the 4. Keep that in a bracket, divided by, and this is going to be x to the negative 4, y to the 2. For division, you're going to do subtraction, and we're going to do x to the 2 minus negative 4, and y to the 4 minus 2. So this will be x to the 6, 2 minus 4, and y to the 2. Oh, and that's it, no negatives. So if there's no negatives here, then you can't fix anything. You just fix the ones that need fixing. Okay, that is a lot of rules. What you want to do is practice them again so that they become kind of second nature to you.